my journey with Disney. Fresh out of college, I started with a group called Resort Enhancement, just as seasonal support, so pretty much driving trucks and van lifts, warehousing. Nothing artistic, to be honest. But that team did so much stuff, between the props throughout the land, and the seasonal overlays, and the window displays. I was given an opportunity by one cast member and asked, would you be able to pick a shoe for me? And like I said, oh, I'll take every opportunity I can. And it's a similar situation where Walt would say, we must not lose sight of one simple thing, that it all started with the mouse. It's those humble beginnings that brought me the same way where the humble beginnings of painting a shoe. And I started with a shoe? It started with a shoe for me, yes. So I painted that shoe to the best of my ability, and I was so proud of it, and it was proudly displayed behind a whole stack of hats in the Manhattan window. I took my new bride down Main Street and pointed to that little toe poking out the side and said, hey look, I'm now a Disney artist, I made it finally. But it was, I miss this because it was that passion and just faithfulness for the smallest of things that led to bigger and greater opportunities. Many other projects came my way where I was able to design and help influence like the Ofrenda over at Docks and Cars Land. The Christmas overlays, designing and painting Snowy there. Working closer with our Pixar partners was amazing fun. Even as a kid, I grew up as a SoCal kid. And it was something that every single time a new animated window would come out, you would run to the Main Street windows to see how they displayed it. And I had a great privilege of leading the team to design all the show sets that are currently out there, the Enchanted windows. A whole lot of fun, so. I even got to put a star on top of the Sleeping Beauty castle. The new Adventureland treehouse renovation, doing these illustrations was so much fun.
These are beautiful.
Thank you. And with all the opportunities I've been given at the Disney company, one thing that I've treasured the most was that I've been able to work alongside one of the greatest men I've ever known and help me create that spark of creating. And following his footsteps was my dad. So I owe a lot to this gentleman who taught me how to work hard and get to it. So, but now you know a little bit about me. I did want to share a little bit about one of the most proudest projects I've been a part of, which was the land of Zootopia. We had such a great creative director in setting the vision that we wanted to capture that most optimistic, best version of Zootopia. The excitement of when Judy hopped off the train into the hustling, bustling city where all animals are represented from all walks of life. From the tall, graceful giraffe to the small, mighty shrew, you can see their stories being told in all the districts, from Tundra Town to Sahara to the rainforest. And even one of the funnest things about working in graphics for this was telling the stories behind the shops and the businesses behind it. This was one of my favorite ones. Of course, you'd have the Bad to the Bone tattoo parlor.
I love that.
I can't say it for sure, but I think someone might have gotten tattoos of this on the team. This city is something that you have to experience both day and night. Especially if you walk down Nocturnal Alley, you'll get a great view of it. And one of the biggest things about, the funnest things about with the Zootopia Land and the graphics was being able to tell the stories both big and small. These, although simple benches, are one of the funnest things I've seen in the land, where it tells such a great story where you can sit there next to where the polar bears were sitting, or you can see where the mice are parking their cars. I always knew it was going to be a fun day in the office when we'd see invites about like, what would crosswalk icons look like if you're an animal? For the larger ones, the smaller ones, and the medium-sized ones. So we took great care and passion into designing both big and small, from the large murals you see on the side there to the smaller nice photo ops that you can take there as well. No detail was too big or small. We wanted to make sure that every icon was recognizable and easy to read, but it also invited you to get down and experience it at all levels.
So this is really just like this big?
Yeah.
So cute.
Super fun. And part of all these graphics was making sure, or part of the process was making sure that each graphic had a purpose and a history behind it. So that made doing our research. And part of the wonderful world that Zootopia, the feature animation had done, they already created these wonderful worlds and we're just expanding upon it. So doing our research by either utilizing other graphics that already existed and tweaking them and designing new ones that we were specifically just for downtown Zootopia. You can see here's a process I had taken to just get the composition just right, working with our show writing team, and our other team, our creative director, make sure we capture just the right moment again. One of the funnest things was to develop the characters within the Zootopia. This one was, of course, you know, Mr. Big and his polar bears. What would the polar bear, how would his gesture be like, sitting in a sauna? So we went over a few easy answers. One is, he's a little more conservative, putting the world up in front. And he's like, let me release, and now he has his hand on the shoulder, on his leg. So it was always fun. This is the final one, too. One of the, I guess, the best parts of working in Imagineering is that we get to work with so many talented disciplines. From our show set design team, our props, our architecture, and inside the Hot Pursuit, the E-Ticket attraction, you get to ride along with Nick and Judy, chasing down Gazelle, bringing her back to her concert. And this was just a simple bus stop that I got to help influence, even although it's just like the graphic is on here is what we were responsible for. The graphic helped influence the structure which is in there, which is in the rainforest district as you're driving by. And speaking about how just the process that we typically, you know, you see on the left-hand side thumbnail drawings, and this is an example where I got to work with concept architects and influence some shade structure. There's a big marquee for the concert venue right there. Super fun. Here's the finished one. And as you go through many of the wonderful scenes in each ticket attraction, you run through Sahara Square, which is a graphic designer's dream, because you're surrounded by nothing but the neon glow, much like Vegas. So we got to have fun with it and explore different ideas of what it would look like. Just again, us partnering with our show set design team and helping it all tell the correct story.
I have a question. So on this slide, a lot of this is digitally created. About how often are you hand drawing versus doing things digitally, or both? Like, what is the makeup of the design work?
Well, even in here, you can see on the left, that's all. It's digitally, but it's hand digital. Like it's drawn by hand. So I typically love just doing the quick thumbnails, and then if it looks, I can get more gestural in it and all that. So I'll usually will scan it and then bring it in there, or keep up the side as I'm working on it again and again. So I think it depends on also the time in which you need it. You know, so there's always a great process that we typically try to do. This is just some influence as we're trying to say, hey, we want this to look like there's broken bulbs and smokiness and stuff, and some flickering lights. There on the right hand side, that's where it's finally finished. And all these, you see all these neon glue, those are all things that we all got to touch and work with the other disciplines. Here's the Desert Queen Theater, some concepts to what it became. And one of the things that, as a graphic designer, we don't only just get to do all the fun big marquees. We do have to make sure that we're making sure all of our operational and safety partners are happy. So all the do not go there, cast members only. You know, we always make sure that even those signs get the love and care that it's needed. Like this, like this cast member sign and Zootopia employees only.
So this has both English and Mandarin. So what kind of process did you go to make sure that everything was legible and made sense for both languages?
We literally have the best diverse team that helped us create these stories that both for our Mandarin speaking audience as well as our English speaking audience even like our show writing team does an amazing job at making our dad joke fun land like Main Street right there. You know,
so it translates in Mandarin, still upon in Mandarin.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that was something again. Like I don't speak Mandarin, but I took it. We were given these copies, and we made it look pretty for everybody. And also, it was such a delight to see how everything came together at the end. Even our restroom signage. We made fun to make sure we had fun, small restrooms. Maybe for the koala. Even you can kind of see on the top right. There's a fat one right there. I think it's shooting over there, right there. So even off screen, you can see some of this fun around you. Some more signage for traffic sign. We did do great research and looking in the local Shanghai, making sure the traffic signs were much like theirs, so that we can connect with them as well. Taking great care and making sure every little icon looked just right. Does that touch look too small? Does it look like a touch with the ears? We went through so many fun iterations. Even in the sushi bar signage, having fun with the characters and again finding new ways to tell a story within the copy. And this is just the Jumbotron area was such a fun thing to work on. There's so many little nooks and crannies to get through. My favorite, if you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but there's this little one right there. That was the Migrators, Autumn is Coming. It was a fun little spoof off of kind of like an Avengers movie, but in the Zootopia world. So it's been such a great pleasure working on it. And,
it's beautiful. Oh my goodness, Zootopia is simply breathtaking. I can't wait to experience it in person for myself. Wow. Brandon, we likely have some people in the audience who would love to pursue a career like yours. So if anyone out there was interested in getting into graphic design, what advice would you give them?
I mean, yeah, my path started with a shoe. So it's something that I think if you do have, everybody has that the creation bug inside, right? Everyone can create. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's more natural for some others, sometimes it feels impossible, but there's that wonderful Walt Disney quote that it's fun to do the impossible, so I encourage you to try, even if it is just painting a shoe. Being faithful with the smallest of things do lead to the bigger and greater things as well. That's my kid says.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Brandon. Round of applause. And we'll be back on the center stage in just 15 minutes with another presentation, so stick around.